Hi, Yin Yoga friends. My name is Meg, and I'm here today just to talk a little bit about props for Yin Yoga classes. Some instructors don't use props a lot in a Yin class, and if you've ever attended class with me in a studio, you know that I want everybody to have bolsters and blankets and blocks. So I'm just a firm believer that Yin is all about coming into your shape, whatever it may be, kind of wiggling around and looking for that place in your body that there's tension, and trying to relax muscles, create ease, and get more into to tissues other than muscle. So the connective tissue, the fascia, the tendons, the ligaments. And in my opinion, the way to help soften the muscles is to support them. It's kind of like giving them a little bit of love. And I know in my life, if I'm having to make change, it's certainly easier to make change when I have support. And I believe that our bodies are the same way. So today I just wanted to show you things that you have in your home that can mimic a fancy yoga prop. You don't have to have expensive fancy props to safely do a Yin class that's well supported. So I have yoga props. I've got a bolster over here. I have two what people think of as yoga blankets, which really are nothing magical about them to make them yoga. And I have some blocks, but they're not with me right now. So in place of fancy blankets and a bolster, I just grabbed right off of my bed some pillows. I've had quite a few people come to class since it's been online, and they're actually grabbing cushions off their sofa, throw pillows, so any pillow will do. I also have this is actually a dish towel that is really handy sometimes. And then just two regular blankets, which look amazingly like yoga blankets, but without stripes. So, house blankets. Sometimes I'll have towels with me. It really just varies. And it's just, to me, as creative as you are, your yoga props can be. So I thought I would even take time to show you how this really works. So if you have time and you want to see a couple of poses supported with these props versus these, or with both, I'm going to show you. If you don't have time for that, well, then you can just go away and say, hey, look, my house is full of creative yoga props. If you want to hang with me, I'm going to show you three poses and what I would recommend. So in my class, I quite often start with a supported back bend. And typically, I would recommend you use a bolster down the center of your mat. You sit not on the bolster, but in front of it. And then you would recline back, right? We spend time here. I also talk about positions you could do with your legs. If you take the feet together and the knees out, you could use blocks to support legs. You can use striped yoga blankets. So yeah, this could be your supported back bend with fancy yoga props. We'd hang out here for a while. Alternatively, I can take one or two pillows, put them on the back edge of my mat, sitting in front of them, not on them, recline back, same pose, same great support. And actually, I'm getting to where I prefer the pillows because they conform to my body a little bit better. And then I've got these blankets that I've had in my home forever, which I can use to support my legs if I choose to take that wide-legged butterfly shape. So, same pose, supported with my home props. Awesome. Okay, another pose that typically requires a good deal of support is a forward fold, which many of us are pretty tight through the backs of the legs. So if I was instructing a forward fold, I would have you sit up nice and tall, and we would play some a little bit, encouraging some muscliness. And then I would encourage a long spine and check out that forward fold with a long spine. Maybe walk your hands forward. Safety with your spine is really important. Some of you might know you shouldn't round forward with your back, but maybe you're comfortable doing that. So again, you're finding your shape, the places where you have tightness, tension, stress in your body. And then after we find our shape, we support ourselves in that shape. So if you're somebody that's really tight, I have many people in classes that they're already feeling a stretch right here. So this would be how they would support themselves. My torso is supported, my head is supported. Some people are more like this. You may find it really hard to believe somebody can get a stretch here, but get on the floor and see. You might have one as well. Or maybe you're more open, and this is your support. So, lots of good options there. Back to my other side. Now with this side, I'm actually gonna go off screen for a moment because there's something that can be really helpful in your at-home practice. And that's a chair. You might use a folding chair. I've also found that a footstool can be really helpful. So if you're somebody that's really tight through the backs of the legs, maybe this chair is your perfect support. You might not like how hard this is, so maybe you bring a pillow up here. I also really like a little bit of support at my tummy. So if I was in someone's home, working with them one-on-one, this would be probably how I would set a lot of people up, actually using furniture. So if you're practicing at home in your den, maybe you have a footstool that you put here. Maybe you're at your sofa. Maybe it's a kitchen chair. Okay? Last one. Let's go one more. And for this one, I'm going to do a side stretch, which I'm not even going to use traditional, I like to call them fancy yoga props on that one. I'm just going to go right into my at-home yoga props. So what I'm going to work on here is a side bend, which is going to get a whole lot of the side of the body. It's also going to get into my hips. And I can already see that this knee doesn't quite come in contact with the floor. And the reason I'm all about support is if I come into this shape and hang out for a while and my knee is lifted, all these muscles are just going to tighten up around that to support that leg. So blanket, just a little bit of support, everything's okay there now. So I would twist a few times, getting into all those little muscles and my vertebrae. And then at some point start playing with that side stretch. And I'm pretty tight through the sides of my body, so it doesn't take too long for me to start to really feel some resistance in what in Yin we call an edge. And I could just hang here like this. That's not very supported. My neck's going to start to tighten up. So I like using my fist, but I still would like some support here. And I got to tell you, I find regular bed pillows, an awesome support because it just, again, it's a little softer on my body. I also have some space between the back of my knee and the floor. And I know my body well enough that if that doesn't have a little support, the back of my leg will just start to burn. So I'm going to take my dish towel, roll that up. I've got some support. And I think I'm going to use this other pillow for my elbow because it just felt weird to have my elbow in my knee. I can play with this other arm. So that's all things your yin teacher will work on you with. But as far as props, I bet you have everything you need in your home. And below this video, I'm going to give you a couple of articles about Yin Yoga because if you haven't done Yin before, it might be helpful to read a little. If you have done Yin and haven't been going since we've been sheltering in place or just reduced access to our normal studios and practices, then maybe join me. There'll also be a link to my classes. Love to have you show up. Hope you will show up prepared with your pillows, cushions, chairs, towels. Yeah. Hope to see you soon and stay well.